Welcome to Hoops Hidden Podcast. I'm your host, David Jones, man. I want to thank everybody for coming out, man. The support's been awesome, man. Thank y'all 100 times over. We got a good show tonight, really good show. Got my man, Reggie Anderson from Young Harris College in the building. What's going on, Coach?
Going on. How's it going on, Dr. Jones?
Man. No, just regular Jones, not
Uh,
Doctor.
you the Hoop 10 Gyms, Doctor.
Yes, sir, man. How you been doing, man? How's the season looking up there, man? You all don't start till January, right?
Right, we don't start until January. We just picked up 2 games. We're going to play Salem University on the 3rd and the 4th of January. But
Okay.
for right now, we've been in what you call a semi-bubble. We've been back since Thanksgiving.
Got you.
And men's and women's basketball are only people on campus. So
Okay.
Good. COVID
Good.
testing every week, and everything's been clear. So.
Okay. But like I said, man, we got a good show today, man. Like I said, I'm gonna kick off with you today. We got our segment as usual. The unsigned hype for the prospects, and then we got another special guest as well. That I just wanted to tell a story. His name is Justin Briggs. He was a D2 All-American, and for all you guys that had that D1 and bust mentality, we're gonna interview him and take some questions as well. But we're gonna go into you, Coach. So tell me a little bit about Young Harris, man. I noticed your first year there as an assistant. Go ahead and break it down to me.
Well, yeah, Young Harris, we played in the Peach Belt Conference in Division II, which we think is the best conference of Division II. We historically, the top 4 teams in our region have always been in the top 25 of Division II in the country. So night in and night out, you got competition. Our league has no more than 15 Division I transfers every year that come into the league from D1.
Wow.
And there's no less than 10 every year that goes, on to the next level and play pro. So it's really a big boys league. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're in there with Clayton State, Columbus State, Georgia Southwestern, Augusta, USC Aiken, Flagler, and University of North Georgia, and a host of others. So it's a competitive league.
Okay. Yeah. So just to touch on the D2, so tell me how the D2 works when you're recruiting, man. How different is it from D1, NAI, D3? How different is it for D2?
I really say that, once you get past the Power 5 and you get into mid-major D1s, then you legitimately can be a Division II recruit, because there's anywhere we always want, a player that can compete at that level. I think the thing that helps us is the early identification of talent to play at that level.
Okay.
And so, I think that's really where Division II sometimes gets a knock, because like you said, they go Division I or bust, but a lot of times they won't even give us the time of day as Division II school. And then when Division I doesn't happen, then they look in May and June about, hey, coach, I got the player for you. And you're like, hey, we got ours.
Yeah, you got it's too late. Yeah, it's too late.
If it's a mid-major or below, if it's a lower mid-major, I'm going to try to recruit the same kid,
Gotcha.
Because I feel like our facilities, all of the facilities in the Peach Belt Conference are equal to Division I facilities.
Now, I haven't been to Young Harris's facilities, but I've seen Augusta's facilities, and they're beautiful. And if you guys are on that same level,
everybody's on the same level, because we got to be, because that's who we play against.
Exactly. So so we took some of our kids. We took our AAU program out to Augusta, and we actually took them to North Georgia as well. And one of the first things they said, they're looking around like, this is D2 school? And we're like, yeah, exactly. And so their perception started to change a lot. And that's why we made it a point for them to see D2s, NAIs, and they're sitting in the stands like, man, they just as good as D1s. And we're like, yeah. So, that education piece is huge. I mean, and I'm not just speaking just for our program. For any of our listeners out there, man, definitely give D2s a look, because in my opinion, I would rather be D2 and playing and getting good minutes rather just in the glitz and glamour of a D1 and I'm sitting on the bench not playing.
Well, and also, I would just go one step further, and
Okay.
like my good friend Corey Black would say, it's about D3.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
if you
Yes,
can go to
sir.
school for free, who cares if it's D2 or D1? You know,
Now
because
that's a
we got
definite.
scholarships just like D1. So,
But Coach, the one thing I wanted to touch on, and you just brought an excellent point up, is so with that being said, a lot of people don't understand that, when they look at letter of intents, it's about what's on that paper, whether it's a partial athletic, a partial academic, whatever the case, as long as all your stuff is covered, who cares?
exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly.
And that was brought up last week as well with my man Mike Mason, who was on the show, one of the post grad coaches. So many people get caught up. I'm on a full scholarship. Yeah, you're on a full scholarship, but you're no better than somebody got a partial academic and a partial athletic, and then they got their Pell Grant mixed in too. Who cares? You're
Exactly.
going to play. And, that's all that matters. You're trying to get that paper. You know what I'm saying? Get that paper after 4 years. That's plain and simple.
Exactly.
So break that down to me. So when you guys are basically out there recruiting, I mean, as I already know, I know grades are important. How much of that does that take away from when you see somebody and you're like, oh, I like him. But let's just say he's a 2.8 or 2.7.
Yeah, that for us, that's a real sticking point because
Okay.
because at our school we are a high academic school. I mean,
Okay.
our incoming freshman class had an overall GPA average of 3.5. Now that's the whole student body of people entering. So we are a very high academic school. So when I'm out recruiting, if they don't have a 3.0,
you can't talk to them.
they've got to be, they got to be a real talent, for me to try to get my head coach, to say, hey, he's worth taking a chance on, because it's a high quality education here.
Okay.
This is the school where Governor Zell Miller went to. And so there's a lot of long line of congressmen, that came through here. And so it's one of those schools that, high level quality education.
So, and getting him in on that as well. So, with it being a high quality, what type of majors that you guys specialize in? So, let's just say maybe I want to be computer science. I want to be pre-med. What would be up Young Harris's alley?
Yeah, we're more of a liberal arts school. So we have
liberal arts,
arts, and we have like sports management and sports medicine up here.
Okay. So those are the big ones?
Yeah, those are our big ones, and of course we've got a very good business program. So so it's mostly liberal arts though. A lot of people come here for pre-law, pre-med. So
gotcha.
It's checks off that first box for a lot of those, multi-tiered educational journeys that they have to go to,
understood.
Level type,
Now, another big one, Coach, I wanted to just, get your points on. And for me, like, what's the alumni? So is the alumni strong once it's over, the job placement? How's it look at Young Harris?
Oh, yeah, the Young Harris alumni is, it's top notch. They definitely, look out for them for their own. There's a very good placement program. Like I said, a lot of them are placement, maybe a placement program, but there's a push to go into master degrees, higher education. There's a push for going to those next levels. A lot of people go on to any of the graduate programs in Georgia after coming out of here, and those that want to go out into the work sector, they have very strong and deep ties all over Georgia.
That's good to hear with a strong alumni foundation. So we're going to get off the schooling for a little bit. Tell me about the squad, man. What the squad looking like for this year?
Oh, they're young, and hey, they're going to be exciting. They are young. They're coming along. We have like 7, 8 new faces that have never played in the Peach Belt before. A couple of them are JUCO transfers, but we got like four. We got four exciting freshmen that we're really looking for some. They're gonna take their growing pains, but they're gonna be nice players.
Got you. So let me ask this as well. So you just said you guys take JUCO. I'm assuming you take post grad players as well, right?
Oh yeah, my head coach loves post grad players because they got that year of maturity.
Yes, sir.
There's a whole difference between a freshman coming straight from high school and a freshman
and the post grad. Yes, sir. You're right.
That's a real big. A lot of our young guys are still a little bit young. And like I told you, this is.
It's a big boy league.
Yep. So, and a lot of those post-grad programs out there that are doing an excellent job, they get them in the weight room. They teach them the game at our level because for whatever reason, they may not have, that same type of teaching basketball IQ-wise.
Okay.
And that's a big thing. The post-grad thing is, one of those, type of things that does us well. We have a couple of post grads on our team now. So
oh wow, okay.
And they're just even better than the high school freshmen who may have came out with all the accolades, but they struggling,
So do you believe in redshirting your kids that are in those type of predicaments, or how does Young Harris roll when it comes to those?
We do have the ability to redshirt them.
Okay.
We make that assertion. Like during the preseason,
yes.
Up, and sometimes they just red shirt just because we just need them to be in the weight room and get bigger,
exactly,
and everything. So why burn their year of eligibility if not a chance for them helping us? As my head coach says, they can't help us. Let's red shirt them.
And coach, and let me be clear. I totally understand now once I start seeing some of the monsters in the Peach Belt. I definitely understand. I was like, yeah, you better hit the weight room before you get down low there because, like you said, some of them D1 transfers, man, there's 7-foot cats down there. I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Augusta has a center 7'1", 310.
Yeah, it transferred from Georgia Southern, right? Yeah. And he's a low.
And he's all man.
Exactly. So like you said, you bringing in that freshman that's 6'9", maybe 205, 210. You're like, buddy.
Nah, let's hold you back. We don't want you to get traumatized.
Definitely, because we get out there and see that, he's gonna be like, oh, wait a minute. This ain't 7A or 6A. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's a different ball game. So one other thing that's important from a Young Harris perspective, have you guys had anybody to move on to the professional levels?
We've had a couple of players here to go on to play Mexico, Israel, Greece.
Okay.
Here in the last 3 or 4 years. Sent out to a place, so that's really been the thing, like I said, but that's, goes with the Peach Belt, because you're playing in this is where all the pros scout at, because like you say, it's a grown man league. So, and if you're Mexico, Greece, or somewhere like that, this is a fishing pond that let me look at that Peach Belt,
And to be honest, Coach, like I said, it's, for me, my top 5 conferences are, of course, the Peach Belt, the PSAC up in Pennsylvania, the Lone Star one in Texas, the CCAA out in California, and my sleeper one always the SIAC. I got an affinity for the SIAC. Those are my guys, man. Those are my guys. So,
I used to coach at Clark Atlanta, so I know about the SIAC too.
Okay, yeah, and so and I tell people all the time,
that's a secret league right there.
Say it again.
That's a secret league right there.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. You hit that right on the head. And that's what I said. You can always catch one of them kids, whether it be from Clark, Morehouse. Not only they mess around go overseas, they may get a look at the G League and something like that. And so that's why I always have an affinity. And also the CIAA too. Definitely CIAA.
Yeah, our new assistant coach, Coach Earl Lawrence, who's on here, he played at Clark Atlanta, graduated from there and went pro to Mexico.
Okay.
And now you just joined our staff here. So,
Okay,
you
that's
know,
a good look, man.
yeah, they turning out too. You know.
And see that, and that's my thing. Like, people don't understand, and that's why, ever since we met, man, and just clicked and started talking, you know, it's almost like you were in my head and I was in yours, because
Mm-hmm.
as we're sitting there looking at talent, I'm like, man, this guy would be a great fit at this level or that
Yep.
level, but you know, I hear so many stories, and I talk to so many coaches, like some of these D2 coaches will call kids and they won't even return calls back. And I'm like, do
They
you
don't.
understand that these coaches all know each other? And you're going to have that prima donna attitude. I mean, anybody will respect and be like, hey, coach, I appreciate the time. This is a blessing either way, because we all know there's only 7% of college athletes all the way around from D1 to JUCO that play on the next level.
Yep.
And you can't just be knocking off people like, oh, coach, I had no words for you. And especially for a man like yourself, because what happens when Reggie Anderson's the next head coach is somewhere? And he's like,
Exactly.
oh, coach, you remember
Not
me?
not even that. I'm at the D1 level. Then you want
Exactly.
to blow my
Oh,
phone
yeah,
up.
then you're a friend then.
Then you want to blow my phone
Definitely.
up. And I'm like, oh, now you want to call me now, huh?
Exactly. And now you're the one leaving them on unread and not returning calls. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but in getting back to this, man, like I said, one of the things, and I'll give D2's credit because that's how I met you, at those post grads. You was at the post grads, like you was at the tournament just like this looking. And I was like, oh yeah, I see. And and that's how we just got to talking, because I said, man, you know what it is. You just said it yourself. Like a year of post grad makes a huge difference. And whether it's
Oh,
D1, D2, and I just wanted to start tying some of these post grads in with quality D2s and
right.
quality NAIAs,
Yeah.
that coaches I know that are going to have them ready for a possible next level shot.
Yeah.
And Dr. Love, you hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
Right on the head. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes,
But
sir.
like you said, though, that post grad thing, I'll be one to tell you. Also, that's sometimes, like we talked about a couple of kids, that's our chance that, hey, we may have missed out on these guys because there's so many of them out there
Don't
that
get
you're
me
like,
started on that.
what happened to this kid? And then he
Yeah.
shows up at post grad, and you like, wait a minute, nobody
Mm-hmm.
got that kid,
Mm-hmm.
So
And
that
especially in Atlanta, some of
yeah,
these kids are going to post grad. Man,
oh,
we 2 shows ago we had Coach Graham on, and we had to talk about that because these kids are coming from, we knew of them, but like you said, you seeing them in post grad, like, wait a minute, that light bulb didn't start clicking.
I don't remember him doing that.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So now you taking the whole look, and really it's just the difference of another year, basically.
Right. And a lot of times the kid is at a high school where he cannot play in his
Yeah,
natural position until he goes to post grad. And
exactly.
then, hey, he might be stuck in a forward position at high school when
Mm-hmm.
really he's a two guard or he's a wing, but because he's one of the taller players on his team,
He got, he got to bite the bullet.
so then when you go to post grad, everybody's like, oh, he can do all of that,
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So with that being said, like, I know Young Harris recruits all over, but are you just a Southeast recruiter, or, for my people up north and my people in the Midwest, you're open to them, right?
hey, I'm trying to find a ball player wherever I can find him and everything. I mean,
Okay.
I've been around Georgia a lot because I've been here for 20 years.
Yes,
And
sir.
so, the lay of the land, I have, a very solid network of high school coaches because,
Yes, sir.
I used to coach on the high school level as of just last year. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I started at Norcross High. So,
Oh,
it's, you know,
that's a hotbed in itself right there,
so,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, so I mostly, it's been here, but we recruit all over,
Okay.
especially for the GPA side. We are really
Yeah.
looking for that, that GPA. So we
Hey,
go.
That's
all
the
over.
education piece for me right there. I did not know Young Harris was high academic. I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
know that.
Oh yeah.
Did not know that. But that makes your job tougher, though.
Hey, I always say it. I'm at the Georgetown of the South. I'm gonna just give me a big towel and put on my shoulder in the spirit of John
Hey,
Thompson. Hey.
you can't beat that. So now one other thing that I want to touch as well. So what up, Dove, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Dove. But one thing I wanted to touch, man. So you guys, people always are big on this. It kind of is what it is. So the Peach Belt has their own streaming network, right?
Yeah, it does.
And see, that's what people don't understand. They're like, oh, I'm not going to be on TV. We live in a technological age. And with us being in a technological age, man, yes, your family can see you from home. It doesn't matter if they're not playing on ESPN, CBS, NBC, whoever, Fox Sports. We live in a streaming network. And, shout out to SUV TV as well. But you can be seen, and Peach Belt has their own streaming network. Some schools have their own as well, but the conference has their own.
Yep.
Now, do they stream every game or?
Every game is streamed.
Oh.
So you can follow whoever, which also lends to why so many guys go pro out of here, because every night you're under a microscope. You have this platform that's being shown all over. So,
Got you. And man, and that's the thing I like to touch on, that, I'm not going to say it's ignorance, but it's a situation where kids are like, oh, I'm not going to be on TV. Yes, you are, bro. You're just being streamed. You're not on ESPN. Even ESPN has a streaming app as well, if you want to get technical like that. So a lot of those things people are streaming, every D2 has pretty much access to. And I'll be the first one to say the Peach Belt, you got to bring your big boy fans to come play in the Peach Belt. Because like you said, you got all of those JUCOs. You all are getting quality Georgia products, and we know what Georgia basketball is.
Yep.
We already know that. But man, with you being a high academic, boy, whatever I could call you, like, hey, coach, I'm like, oh, you don't have a 3.5. Let me put the phone down. Let me put the phone down. I'm sorry.
Start with 3.
Man, I did not know that, man.
3.1.
I'm glad you came on the show to educate, man, because that's just a situation where, man, that's pertinent. But man, grades are always important. And I know your recruiting spill is, if you get into Young Harris and you coming out of here with a degree, you're gonna go somewhere. You know what I mean?
And that degree is going to open a whole lot more doors than basketball ever will.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Amen to that. Definitely.
So that's why we got to make sure we get our young boys to understand them academics.
It's pertinent. Everybody has, when you ask them what you want to do, I want to go overseas. Well, you understand, probably by the time you're 26, 27, it's going to be over. What do you want to do? Oh, I haven't thought about that yet. But that's partially on us to get them to start opening up and thinking, hey, man, think about broadcasting if you want to stay in sports. Think about communications. Think about, you have to have some type of backup plan. And, my thing with, the Peach Belt, like I said, I've been big on the Peach Belt because I've met a good portion of the coaches already. And all of them, different personalities. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, you can't beat this top-notch program, man. And, like I said, Dr. Love talking about Core 4, TSF, and Middle Georgia. Coach Anderson knows all of them. Trust me. I can vouch for him. He knows all of them. He knows all of them very well. But, I mean, and that's the Georgia system. Those are Georgia post-grads. We know the Florida post-grads.
And they do, those 3 right there do an excellent job. I mean,
yes, sir. They're
not just, out in it for the wrong reasons.
Thomas, Rob, and Aaron, they all do an excellent job.
And high quality.
Definitely. And Coach Huff just brought up an excellent statement right there. I mean, that right there should be a slogan in itself right there. It's about the next 40 years, not just the next 4.
That's my dude right there, Coach Huff.
No doubt. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. I mean, that right there, I mean, every parent, they should be looking at that. And whoever is recruiting, that should be a slogan to say, hey, we are here not just for 4 years. We're here for you as alumni. We're here for you as a school. Because, a lot of these kids, sometimes when it's over, they need to come back and get their master's, like you said, or they want to be a grad assistant, or,
Yep.
They want to touch the school and say, hey, alumni, I'm trying to go to Texas or New York. Are there any alumni up there? And all those things are important.
And
Definitely important.
Exactly. And especially, they got to understand too that if you come to any Division II school in the Peach Belt and play for them, that because of the brand of the Peach Belt,
yes,
that
sir.
whenever they come back, them alumni gonna always remember that you played for their school. They gonna bend over backwards to help you. They like, this is our guy right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, with that being said, I got one last question for you, and it's an unfortunate one. Are the Peach Belt letting fans in this year?
It's going to be a school-by-school basis. Our school right now, coming out the gate, we got our first home game. Is you're not going to let fans in, but they're going to say they're going to try it out, see how it is. It's a school-by-school basis.
Okay.
All the schools are getting together, seeing what works, what doesn't work. So as of right now, is no fans in, but it may be after we start playing.
So they're pushing everybody through the live stream, right?
Yep.
Okay. And the live stream is on the Peach Belt's website, right?
Yep, it should be, yep.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely make sure, a lot of us will make sure we start posting the Peach Belts. Now, does it cost or is it free?
That I'm not sure about.
Okay, we'll find out about that.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay. Well, Coach Anderson, man, man, whenever I see you, man, we up there talking like we at the cookout, man. You already know, man. I appreciate your time. And like I said, I know I'll see you at the showcase without a doubt in February.
You know me. You know I'm there.
I definitely know that. So, man, I appreciate you, man, and definitely hang around because I know you're going to be lurking for them unsigned prospects, man. I already know.
I got to get them before Coach Huff get them.
Hey, you got to watch Huff. You know what I'm saying? Huff probably at somebody's house right now.
You know he is.
Yeah. He at somebody's house. Like, let me watch this real quick while I'm recruiting somebody. But yeah, Reggie, man, I appreciate you, man. And, like I said, best of luck for the rest of the season. If I can come, check out a game, just let me know if they letting people in. We definitely want to come check it out, man. And I'm going to catch up with you soon, man. You take care, brother.
All right, then, brother. You take it easy.
All right, take care, Coach.
Peace.
All right.
All right.
So what we got coming up next, and this show is more on the D2 side. We've been doing post-grad the past 3 shows, but I've been advocating for all of them. So that's D2, D3, NAI, JUCOs. Of course I got love for the D1 programs, but it was hey, Huff, stop telling on yourself, Huff. Stop telling on yourself. But, tonight's show was a situation where, when I talked to Coach Anderson, he came on the show, man, it popped in my head. There's been a young man I've been watching the past 4 years. I've known his mother, at least 15 plus years. And as he started to grow and become a prospect, he took a path that not your normal path. Number one, he played independent, but we know how strong Georgia independent AAU teams are. And he went D2. As a D2 prospect, definitely a prospect, no question. And I wish I could have cut the highlights because there's highlights of him. And after we watch the show tonight, you can go YouTube him. You can see him dunking on Arizona. You can see him on overtime and the rest of these cuts dunking on cats. So when we say D2 is a grown man's league, please believe it. And this one right here is a definite example of that. This is my guy here. His name is Justin Briggs, 6'10" kid from Cal State Chico. He just graduated this past year. He ended up, he's the school's all-time leading shot blocker, scored over 1,000 points. They were on their way to the D2 tournament for the NCAA, but as we all know, COVID hit. It's unfortunate. But this man's path is going to take him straight from D2, and now he's going overseas, just like Coach Anderson was talking about. And man, I can't advocate for enough of these schools, enough. And here we go right here. Here's some good highlights as well. Get it, big fella. Get it, big fella.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
Doing good. It's good seeing these highlights again.
Okay. Yeah, we just looking at so hey, don't do it to him like that. Don't do it to him like that. And you know, man, you are a prime example. As I look at this, man, there's no doubt in my mind you could have played D1. I mean, please, are you kidding me? I mean, as I looked at it, and you know, as when your mom used to send me clips of, you know, when you all played Arizona, I know Sean Miller. Sean Miller's from Pittsburgh, so we're from the same hometown. And when Sean was giving you props after the game, like, yo, these kids can play. And I was like, yeah, and I saved that clip too, man. Because when you did that baseline spin on Arizona, I was like, hold on.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, you know.
It was praise. He's like, he said if you slap our name on a D1 team's name on our jerseys, you wouldn't know the difference.
Especially y'all. Especially Chico State. Man, you all weren't no small team.
Yeah, we had height on our squad.
Exactly. So if I do, like you said, if there were just some blank jerseys and I walked in and saw Chico State, I'd have been like, man, who is this? Who is this? Definitely. But man, we're going to touch on today, man. And, you know, I want to thank you for coming on the show today, man. We're going to talk about your journey, man. You know, coming out of high school. So you said you played for an independent team, right? Coming out of high school.
Yes.
What was the name of it, the team?
Play hard, play smart.
Play hard, play smart. Okay, I kind of like that name too. Kind of like it. So with that being said, man, so coming out of high school, who was looking at you coming out of high school?
So I had a verbal offer from Northridge, Cal State Northridge, and then I had like Northern Arizona talking to me, local teams like Sac State, UC Davis, in my area, and then just teams like that, and then a lot of the JUCOs, I'll get interest from. But Chico was recruited heavily when you're a D2 school. You had to send the letters and calls, stay in contact, and you had to recruit a lot harder than a D1 school because players are already.
So they pretty much were. They were basically on you from the jump. Yeah. And did that stick out to you like, hey, this is the place that showed me the most love. I'm gonna go here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And so the love kept going once I came. The love stayed. It didn't fade away once I got there, and they mission accomplished. I signed. You know.
And so with that being said, like, you know, were you considered a project when you got there, or what do you think when you got there?
Yeah, because I did redshirt when I got there. Redshirt my freshman year, and then people saw me after the redshirt year was over, and they're like, "That's not the same kid that we saw when he was in high school," because you start lifting weights and you're training every day, and you're eating right, and then you look like a completely different person after that 1 year transformation. So.
Got you. So with that being said, so you feel like that year of redshirt just totally took you to the next level as far as confidence and getting you ready for that CCAA league, because that's a big boy league too.
Yeah. So once I got in redshirting, I vividly remember this. I came home and I was talking to my dad, and he was like, "What have they been feeding you out there?" Because I was been lifting every single day when I was out there. It was funny. Yeah, but it prepares you mentally, physically. You're able to get in the groove of being in college and going to class, practice, all that good stuff. But so
it basically just got you ready for the routine on top of lifting weights. You got used to the college life and everything, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so when you came in as a freshman, a redshirt freshman, it was kind of like, okay, we got your body ready. We're going to start working you into our program, right? And you could tell, and to be honest, you could tell by your numbers. That's what it was. Every year you improved. You know what I'm saying? And looking at that, man, what did you major in? Let me ask that. What did you major in?
Business management, marketing.
Okay, and you graduated, correct?
Yep. Just
graduated. That's what I like to hear, man. That's definitely what I like to hear. And like I said, you're one of those stories where, you know, you popped in my head when I had Coach Anderson because I mean you are the ideal person. I mean, granted, you 6'10" and you can move. That's any coach's dream right there. But the fact of your development, man, does Chico State have like a player development coach or anything like that?
Yeah. So we have 3 assistant coaches, and then we have our strength trainer. He's designated to the weight room. He's there. He's attentive with us. He gives programs like geared towards our own development, like certain players, and so different players have different workloads on the court. Some players will play a lot of minutes, some players play less, and he develops workout plans for us to go in there and get better. And then we separate individually: guards, bigs, wings. Every single day we do at least 30 minutes in practice. We'll go and develop our own skills, and then go and branch off into our normal practice as a team.
Nice. I like that. So, and let me ask this, and I've never been to Chico State, but facility-wise, is they comparable to D1s or?
Oh yeah. So our gym is there's a lot of gyms like in the area around here. Like I'm from Sacramento, so I've seen Sac State's facilities and their gyms, and it is pretty comparable to like a Sac State type facilities to the D1 level. So our facilities are really nice. I mean, that we got a brand new weight room, got our floors, bleachers redone, all that stuff. Our stands and facilities are looking nice.
Now, let me ask you this, and I think this is important as well. This is important as well. So, when you first signed, was it a full scholarship or was it partial academic, or how did it line up?
It covered everything. So the first year I lived there, I lived in the dorms, and the dorms are more expensive than living off campus. So it covered my entire dorms, covered the tuition, food, room and board, all that stuff, and then I got like a little bit of money on top after all those expenses were paid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, man, and I wanted to ask that not to be personal, but a lot of kids don't understand how it breaks down. They're thinking, "Oh, I'm only getting X amount of dollars," but man, listen, you living better than some MEAC and SWAC schools. I'm not trying to throw no shade, but that was a good look, man. That's a definite good look. Now, the next question I wanted to touch as well. So, unfortunately, your junior year, you tore your knee up a little bit.
Yeah.
And tell me about the road to recovery after you tore your knee up, man.
It was a long journey. You have to reteach yourself everything. Reteach yourself how to walk normal. Don't make sure you don't have a limp. You then need to go back in the process of jogging and sprinting and that whole deal. But luckily, our strength trainer was so attentive and like our trainers were hands on every day doing some kind of program or workout that was getting my legs stronger. You had to build the quad back up, the hamstring, and once I got back on the court, it felt like I was back to my old self. Picked up right where I left off. So,
Okay. And so, with that being said, and it sounds like you guys had a pretty good sports medicine team as far as your trainers and your doctors, your sport team doctors. Sounds like because you didn't miss a beat once you came back, and you were still swatting shots and you were still doing your thing, man. So, one thing I want to add. So, I know about your conference, and of course I know about UC San Diego because they were tough. They were tough, but it was the other schools as well. As I was watching you, like of course I knew Chico State, and I knew the other ones as well. But tell me about some of the other tough schools that was in the conference.
Okay, so we had like Cal Poly Pomona and San Francisco State in our league, San Bernardino. All the teams in our conference are good teams. You can't go out there on a game night and not take someone seriously because you'll go out there and you'll get smacked. You're going to smack in the mouth if you don't take your team serious. So every night we focus the scout before games. We dialed in. We prepare for everybody the same exact way, and you can't take a day off at all.
Okay. So with that being said, do you guys? I'm sure there's guys that go pro beside yourself. Does your league have a number of D2 guys that go pro overseas?
Yeah, pretty much the best players on each team. They send players overseas and to play professionally. pretty much each year that we've had at Chico State, we've had at least one or two guys play pro each year coming out of Chico.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you saying at least one or two from each team, basically?
At least from our team, from my personal experience, yes. Because I'm friends with like a lot of the guys in our league, a lot of the top players in our league. Everyone's cordial. Everyone knows each other. We all follow each other's socials, and from what I've seen, everyone that's graduated pretty much played pro. Like all my friends, at least, continue to play at the next level. So.
And I'm glad you're bringing that up, man. And, you know, this is outside of advocating for D2. This is why I wanted to touch that D1 or bust mentality, because they're missing out on situations like this. Like you said, not only are, you know, yourself and a lot of those, I know some of them guys from UC San Diego going overseas somewhere, because they have some dogs. They have some dogs. But that's why I wanted to bring you on the show, you know, to say, man, listen, you played on the independent team. You know, you came in, they said, okay, basically we have a 4 or 5 year program for you. They executed it, and now look where you're at. So, and just to go on that a little further, expound on that, you know, can you tell the listeners, you know, where you were going to go, you know, professionally overseas, and just tell us the situation?
Yeah. I was had an offer from Macedonia early in the year, and I got an agent back in July. Signed with an agent. He's based out of Miami, Florida, and he has a bunch of G League guys under him, NBA guys under him, and then guys overseas as well. So he's a really good agent. So talked to him, and he said he's been pushing for a team in Japan right now, another team in the Euro League out there in Hungary. So those are my top two right now.
Okay. So, but you, because of COVID, you just got to hold tight until COVID. Got you. But it sounds like, man, your time is coming, man. Man, bro, I'm so proud of you to see how far you came, man. You know, man, that was big time, man. And like I said, I talk about you all the time. I'm like, man, you know, I tell my boy Dre, when I first told him, I was like, bro, look at this, right? Look, I'm telling you. I was like, man, this guy's going to be something, man. And, you know, here we are right here, man. And, you know, my son already knows about you, and, you know, you follow him as well. And, you know, it's just a situation like when you see kids like this, and, you know, you don't have to be all state. And, you know, it's a situation, if you find a home, and like you said, the schools that show you love, and whether it's D2, D3, because I got coaches from the D3 level telling me the same thing. We're sending kids overseas too. Yeah. And we're just trying to get people to open their eyes, man. And, you know, man, I appreciate you big time. And definitely shout out to Chico State, man. At some point, I want to get out there and check you out, man. We want to have to go to a game, man. Definitely, man. Definitely, because, man, when you got that dunk at that was on overtime, that crowd went nuts. I was like, I could be in that type of environment.
That fired me up after I did that one.
Man, it had me fired up just watching, you know what I mean? And I love those type of environments. And, you know, even with it being a D2 environment, that was 100% a D1 environment, because that crowd was rocking after that, man.
Well, Jim was shaking.
Yeah, exactly.
It was getting retweeted. And the guy that I dunked on, he follows me, so I'm sure he had to relive it over and over and over.
Oh, man. And, you know, like I said, I can only imagine that experience you had at Chico State. I mean, you'll never forget that, man. You'll never. I mean, that's just a situation, you know, you had a great time at Chico State. You developed, man, and they stuck to their word, and they stuck with you, man, because, you know, there's some programs that'll promise you the world, and as soon as you get there, it's something totally different. Yeah. So, you know, at some point, you know, definitely props to Chico State. And it's just touching on the D2 movement, man, because, I mean, you are a prime example, man. You can go D2, and, you know, you guys are definitely one of those power conferences in D2, you know, with the PSAC, the Peach Belt, the Lone Star, the MIA, and you guys out there, the CCAA, man. That's a tough conference, man. And that's why I like watching D2 when it comes NCAA time, because you guys don't get to play each other until you get to the tournament. You know what I mean? And then it's game on from right there.
Yeah, we're playing all over.
Yeah, and that's why I hated it for you that you didn't get a chance to play, you know, your senior year in the tournament because of COVID. But, you know, I'm sure it would have been, you know, it would have been a bang, definitely a bang. And, you know, one last thing, man, just to touch on, is there anything you want to tell the young kids, you know, about your journey, that kids that aren't highly recruited,
Yeah.
and to get to where you're at right now?
It's about just being able to follow the dream and sticking to the process pretty much. You know, you got to find the place where you fit first and foremost. And then once you get there, you got to find somewhere where you can thrive. And, you know, like I heard you say it earlier, you'd rather go to a D2 and you play good minutes than go to a D1 and sit the bench, but
Yeah,
but say you went D1, but you're not playing, you know? I
yeah,
enjoyed I enjoyed every minute being at Chico, so I was able to play and thrive, and I fit into the system. And like the town showed me love, crowd showed me love, the coaches, everyone. So it was just a really good fit for me. So you know, just about following the path and sticking to it.
So, and to touch one last thing on that path, what
Hmm.
type of dedication did it take to get you there, man?
Man, he had to going to the gym, practicing. Like I said, I redshirted my first year, so I had to get better. I knew I wasn't recruited in high school, so I'm like, I got to work even harder than the guy next to me, in order to get to where I need to go. You know, so being able to go in,
What type of sacrifices did that entail? You know, of course we know hard work. So was it getting up in the morning and out working the next guy? What was it that you had to
yeah,
do to, you know, because like I knew there were people that were in front of you. So what did you have
mhm.
to do to get to their level
Yeah. So in high school, I remember my junior
or
year,
better?
I didn't start, so you gotta wake up, you gotta get conditioned, stay conditioned, be ready for when your name does get called over that bench. You gotta make sure you gotta work hard right then. You gotta work right when you get in the game. You got something to prove. You know, you got something to prove.
Definitely. Hey, man, you know, like I said, hey man, I appreciate you coming out on the show. I mean,
Mhm.
we definitely gonna show Chico State love, man. You know,
Oh
like I
yeah,
said, I'm a believer in Chico State. After what they did with you, man, I'm a believer.
oh
And
yeah,
you know, it's just a situation, you know, outside of kids in Georgia and kids in California and everywhere else that's watching the show, man, you're a prime example of what can happen to D2, and not being one of those coveted 5-star top 100 recruits, man.
yeah.
Now you're about to go get that bag overseas, man. And
Mhm.
like I said, man, definitely proud of you, man, and best of luck to you, man. We'll be talking soon, Justin. All right, man?
Oh yeah, appreciate you.
Man,
All right,
anytime, man. You take care, man.
yeah, good chatting with you.
All
All
right,
right, take
anytime.
care. Oh yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Hey, once again, man, I mean, we've been on this kick from post grad to D2. Hey, proof's in the pudding. You know, I don't like to just be about talk. I like to show by example, to say, hey, man, you can get this in plenty of ways. That's one brother right there, unheralded, worked his butt off to get to where he's at right now, over 1,200 points, over 1,000 rebounds. He's the school's all-time leading, you know, the all-time leading shot blocker. Now he's about to go get paid, man. And, you know, it's not always about going overseas to get paid, but it's about finding that right situation. Like I said, he loved it over there. You know, the school showed me love. You know, teachers and everybody else, fans, you know, you want to go somewhere where you're appreciated. And definitely sounds like Chico State was the right fit for him. It's about that time, definitely about that time. We're gonna go into our unsigned hype for 2021. As I know, there are some coaches already on here waiting to see who has what. Um, we're gonna take one look real quick before we bring on unsigned hype, because we got my man Juke coming on, and make sure he's ready to come on. So as we wait for Juke, and I'm 100% fine with that. As we wait for Juke, I got a couple things I wanted to touch on, even as we wait for Juke to come on. So basically, one of the big things that we have coming up in February is one of the big post grad showcases here in Atlanta. Post grads, I've reached out to a number of you already, but the smoke in Atlanta for February 6th and 7th, there's going to be some top high-quality teams here. As these D2 coaches have already stated, I've met a number of them at these events anyway. So it's time for that Hoops Hitting Gym showcase to start. So it's just one of those situations where, like Coach Anderson said, a lot of these kids that, get this extra year of post-grad, it's a huge, huge, big development for them. And like I said, February 6th and 7th, definitely check it out. But one thing I wanted to touch on while we're waiting for our unsigned hype to come on, I've seen some excellent basketball this past couple of weeks. But I'm going to touch on this because it's kind of on my heart to say this as well. Me personally, there's no bigger basketball fan than me. I mean, this is one of my loves. But with that being said, we're in a COVID situation. And with us being in a COVID situation, people, please wear your mask. If you're going to go to the game, don't come out here reckless. And it's not about you. It's about everybody. We got people out here checking out. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's some of our older people. And with it being our older people, these are loved ones and they're coming to see their grandkids and everything else. But man, just have some respect when you come to these games. I mean, I'm in the gym because I'm a fanatic like everybody else. But man, don't come in there without a mask. And schools, if they don't have no mask, tell them they can't come in, man, because this is getting serious. The numbers are rising, and we want to have a season. But with us wanting to have a season, we don't want to be unsafe on the same sentence, too. And it just hurts me that, I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months. Because when I say the next couple of months, well, I should say weeks rather than months. It's a situation where, we're starting to see some games in college. We're seeing football games get canceled or moved, postponed. Now it's starting to hit the high school level. And, it's just my concern. I don't want nobody to be a casualty of war, so to speak. And I know we're rolling dice as we're playing already. But, man, listen, just wear your mask. And that's just, I can't say no more than that. I mean, I want this season to go just like everybody else does, but not at the expense of somebody catching it and you don't know how they're going to react to this disease. And we just don't want to lose nobody, whether that be Georgia, any other state, because I know we lead the forefront in Georgia in regards to, playing, and people are watching us, seeing how things are turning out. Please, I beg of you guys, definitely beg of you guys. With that being said, getting outside of COVID, one of the things I love about Georgia is, man, if you guys have watched any of these, podcasts, it's deep and it's loaded here. And with it being deep and loaded here, we got some kids that are unbelievable. And that goes for the Southeast in general. And, I know it's one Georgia and we tough on one Georgia, but, I'm going to shout out Florida. I'm going to shout out South Carolina. I'm going to shout out North Carolina and Alabama. And, when we go to these AAU tournaments here in Atlanta, Rock Hill, Orlando, Birmingham, number one, the facilities are top notch. And then number two, man, what you see, like Justin was saying, you better bring your A game. And now, even though Justin has basically, moved on and he's in the professional ranks, but the competition is getting stiffer and stiffer and stiffer. And, looking at, like Dr. Love is saying, I'm looking at what you're saying, Dr. Love. The crazy part is some D2 and FBS schools aren't going to start their football season in February. The thing that concerns me the most, you're going to have sports starting to collide. Of course, football is always fall. Then it was basketball season, fall/winter. Going into next season, a lot of these kids are not going to have any break whatsoever because high school is going to run straight into AAU. AAU is going to run straight into fall ball/football season/basketball again. Man, you guys out there that training 4, 5, 6 days a week, make sure you get some rest leading into next season because you all about to play. I can't even say how the high school season is going to go. Is it going to go to March? Is it going to go to April? Is it going to be delayed? But from a safety standpoint, outside of COVID, I see kids that are working out every day, 5, 6 days. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in because you have to be that tight to stay, especially in Georgia, to stay up with the competition. But it's also going to be a situation I don't want to see torn ACLs or torn quads or ankles because of fatigue and nobody's getting rest and everybody's just so concerned, okay, we lost in the Sweet 16. Next week it's AAU time. Listen, I understand 100%, but at some point, make sure you all parents, make sure these kids get some rest. Make sure from a perspective of a lot of these kids are, just rest more than anything. Rest is going to be your biggest deal. And, I'm just looking at this from a concern standpoint. And, shoot, I'm tired going every day as it is. Dre's tired, and I can only imagine kids working out and lifting weights the way they are. And, now we don't know how many games the high school season is going to be. We don't know how many games the AAU season is going to be because we don't know what COVID's going to do. We don't know what the president-elect's going to do. It's just be careful. And when I say just be careful, it's just a situation where, it's going to be an exciting time because we all know once April hits and, fingers crossed, the dead period is over, it's going to be a bonanza in there because all the coaches are going to be back in the gyms, even though we know the coaches that aren't D1 are already in the gyms, but we know what it looks like live period. And the thing that just scares me sometimes that, looking at how this is all going to shape up over the next couple months, it kind of scares me. But that's just my quote for the day. Just be careful because I'm excited, but I also understand we have to be careful in this whole pandemic and / jamming all these games together. I'm a fanatic for these games too. I don't want nobody to be on my head talking about, hey, he's trying to cut down games. No, it's just from a safety standpoint. And coaches, please don't have some of these kids playing 60, 70 games and then they going straight in the fall league because then we're talking NBA schedules and then that's how they do get hurt because they really haven't had any rest whatsoever. But, man, just real quick, as we're waiting for Juke to get, come on, and because I'm a little early anyways, one of the most exciting things. What up, my guy?
What's good? What's going on, Mr. Jones?
Man, I was trying to keep my timing right. I was like, I got to give Juke his love out here. I can't have Juke with just 10 minutes on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you were early. Dre had just texted me. I said, Mr. Jones, we're early today.
Yeah, I was early because, I wanted to keep it to, I wanted to make sure because with this segment growing, man, and a lot more coaches are looking, I got to get time. Thing. Oh, no doubt. But I got to give it the right time to do what it needs to do. What you got out here this week, man?
Man, I had to get my girl. I know we had to get my girl out there.
Okay.
So, I actually have a girl today. I have a high school player, and I have a JUCO kid. So we actually testing everything right now.
Okay, that's what's up. Let's get it.
My girl, I'm going with Claire Davis out of Cass High School.
Okay.
6'2" big guard. Man, she can play the 1 through 5. Yeah, she can play the 1 through 5. I actually Kyle Sander actually put me on her like a couple of months ago for the underrated gyms, and I've been keeping tabs on her. And man, I feel like just like Amaya from last Sunday, I feel like she's going to be I think she is one of the top players in the state, but she doesn't have any offers herself. Maybe like one
for 2021,
2022 also.
2022,
so like the 2022 it's a lot of girls on that side, man, that's going to be they're gonna be special. And Claire Davis and Amaya Moss are two girls that I really like right
Oh
now.
yeah, Amaya is nice. But the thing that's different about girls, Juke, is they be offering early. So a lot of times the scary part for the girl side, they be like, "Oh, I like her, but we already working on 23 and 24." You like, man.
Yeah, but you see this, you see Claire. If you don't know about Claire, then like you'll know about it after this segment right here.
Okay, okay,
And she got a little flair about herself too. She got a little attitude on her. You could tell, and I
okay,
like
okay.
that too. Mm.
Okay, okay.
Oh yeah, she gonna rebound. She gonna push the ball down the floor. Come here. Yeah. I've
Nice
been
little
real big
footwork.
on her. Block shots, run down the floor.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. I
Mid
like
range on
that.
point too.
And you said nobody's looking at her?
I don't even think she has anything right now. She might have like one or two, unless it picked up. But man, this is her junior. This is her junior. No, this is her sophomore tape, I think.
Okay, okay. Little range.
She
Good,
does it all, man.
good instinct. Oh, Mahalik. Ugh. Filet. And where's Kaz at? Where's that at, Jude?
Long guard too.
Where's our high school at?
Now I have the slightest idea on where Cass is at. I have
Okay,
to might have to Google that one.
okay, okay. I thought this might be one of them Green County All Stars.
Dre said he think it's in Cartersville.
Carter. Okay, okay.
I don't know what we're looking at now though. Yeah. So yeah, it's out of it's in Cartersville, Dre.
Okay, okay.
And I don't even think she has anything. I'm trying to check and see now, but I don't think she has anything right now. And I think like this platform should really be able to help her even more.
Oh yeah, somebody missing out on that. Somebody definitely missing out.
Mm. And yeah, because she's actually ranked like number 9 in the state. She's
Man.
ranked number 9, and
Wait,
she
she
has an
ranked number
offer from
9 and she
Lenore
don't have
Ryan.
no offers?
She got one from Lenore Ryan, yeah, and Southern Union. She did have two. I forgot.
Okay.
Southern Union and Lenore Ryan. That's it. Oh, and Claflin offered her, so she has three. She actually has an
Okay.
offer from Claflin.
That's gonna pick up, man. Trust me, that's gonna pick up.
Yeah, especially with her size, and she can play the 1 through 5 position, man. So she's gonna be
Yeah,
special.
yeah,
Um.
that's a good look right there, Drew. Definitely a good look.
Oh yeah. You know I have to find them, Mr. John. I tried to anyway.
Yeah, that one right there, I think with no question, probably after this show, some people will probably be asking, who is that?
They should, and they should, man.
Oh, no question. No question. I mean, she can play. She can play. I mean, and you trying to tell me a D2 or NAI is not going to holler at her? Man, you missing out. You definitely missing out. I mean, really, that's low major talent right there.
Okay.
Who else you got, Juke?
Um, DJ Henderson. He's one of my JUCO guys. He's actually at Santa Fe College.
Oh, down in
Six
Florida?
six, yeah, 6'6" kid, man. Can
Okay.
shoot the rock, can score. He has a lot of great tools on him, man. Love that kid. Love his
Okay.
game too. He's gonna have a big sophomore season.
Okay. Anybody looking at him right now?
I don't even think DJ has any offers right now. He when I feature him on the underrated gems, he got a lot of interest. So I guess a lot of coaches are actually waiting to see what he does this season. But he's a steal, man. He can shoot it. He can get to the rack. He can play defense. He has a lot of great tools about himself. And I've been watching him, his his practice tape, practice film, and he's been getting buckets at practice. I wait to see him play once we just start playing, hopefully anyway.
Gotcha. I met Santa Fe's coach in Orlando in October.
Which one is Santa Fe's coach? I think I'm more so close to the assistant coach that's there.
Yeah, it was the assistant. I met the assistant. Yeah, because he was at one of the post grad tournaments. Real good guy. Real good guy.
Yeah, DJ is gonna be tough. I don't know what schools are really on them, but like anybody want a 6'6" wing that can shoot and guard the floor, then yeah, hit me up. I can take you right to DJ. Put you right on him at Santa Fe College.
You said he's 6'6", right?
6'6".
Okay. Alex Burge, that's who it was. Alex Burge.
Yeah, it is Alex. I'm close. Yeah, Alex. I don't know why I said assistant. I forgot Alex is the head coach there too.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alex actually comes to Georgia and recruits very well.
Yeah, so, and that's what he was saying when I met him.
Yeah, see, any kid that's looking to go JUCO, man, if Alex wants you, he's a great coach. You should definitely take time out to look at his program.
And Juke, that's one thing we're gonna have to start talking about. So when we start talking about lanes and avenues, because people have to understand everybody doesn't have the means to pay for post grad if you're not going for free. And these JUCO D1s, you going for free. You know what I mean? And that's what people have to understand. You can go JUCO D1 for free. JUCO D2s, depending on the program, if you're Pell eligible, a lot of times you can go for free if you're Pell eligible. And I think at some point, Juke, we got to start having on the show like a little symposium so people can understand, okay, you can go JUCO D1, you can go JUCO D2, or you can go JUCO D3 and find a cheap option. You know what I'm saying? So you can still get looked at. So I think that's something we want definitely have to look into, brother.
We'd have to look at that and also the JV programs for a certain program. Because
depending on program,
because right now it's gonna be kind of hard trying to. Some kids might have to take that JV route because of just what's going on right now. So that's just another option. Not to say that you have to stay there all the time, but if you good enough and you play your butt off, the opportunity is there. I'd rather do JV somewhere at a program than be home and let other people get better than me.
No
I get lost in the sauce.
No question.
Opportunity is here. Opportunity is knocking. You got to take the chance on it.
Definitely. Who else you got, Joe?
My last kid, and I'm like, I love this kid. I've been vouching for this kid for the last 4 years. He's actually from down by my way, coming out of Hancock Central. Jamal Peanut Taylor. Jamal Peanut Taylor is a point guard. He actually helps Hancock win a state championship last year. We talked about him on the show last week, but I didn't get a chance to show his film. And I feel like Jamal is one of the top point guards in the state, especially in our area. He's going to be a problem this coming season. Sparta's actually picked to win the state again this year in single A basketball. So, and he's one of the main reasons why he can facilitate the ball. He has a nice mid-range, and his three is starting to be more consistent. He was actually at the off the dribble open run. So yeah, he had a pretty good count. So man, I'm telling you, Jamal is special. and coaches don't even know about him. He's actually a dual sport athlete in football, so he can play football. He's tough in that also, but he loves the game of basketball.
So he want to go to college for basketball, right?
I think he can go for either or. We just using this platform to get coaches to go down there, you know.
Okay.
Quick too, very quick. Plays with an attitude too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very shifty, very.
Oh, lefty. I got to show my lefties love. Definitely got to show my lefties love. You know, he part of the club.
And he got a left-handed. His teammate is left-handed.
I saw that.
He's 6'4", and nobody knows about his teammate. He's a 6'4" sniper. Kid is explosive.
Okay.
Yeah, he know how to get to the rack too.
Yeah, he can get to the rack. You can see that. You said this is single A, right?
Mm-hmm, single A. This is one of our biggest rivalries. Luckily, it's sad that we don't get to play them this season. Because we used to be in the same region, and it brings everybody out. It's just like another Morgan County, Greene County game.
Got you.
But like they play like Wilkinson County. Like Wilkinson County is one of their biggest rivalries, and Baldwin is awesome.
Okay. Do y'all play Baldwin this year, Drew?
No, we don't play Baldwin, but I think they do. I think they. Okay. I don't know if Baldwin's playing them or not this season, but that's one of the biggest games too. That's gonna be a good matchup. Baldwin has some players, and Sparta has some too. That's like one of the biggest games in the state that a lot of people don't talk about. Like,
my man,
you go from Hancock.
Yeah, Ice
you go from Hancock to Baldwin, or like Hancock to Wilco, or Hancock to Greene. Like those games bring out the crowd. So like Sparta is like one of the and we don't consider them like Power 5 schools, but that is a Power 5 school. Like either they're gonna win the region and make it to the playoffs, and they just won the state last year. They had a kid. He's not a kid anymore. He plays overseas. Camion Hosley that played for Georgia Tech. Okay. He's from Hancock Central.
Gotcha. Hey, you be educating me on the Greene counties, the Morgan counties, the Hancock Central. Hey, in a minute, like I said, I'm gonna be pulling up there so much because you be talking about them so much. Like I said, you know how I feel about Warner Robins and all them, man. It's just a situation where outside of Atlanta basketball, man, this is past due for us to start, besides showing love, just seeing these kids that can actually really go. You know what I mean?
And that's real. And one thing that I always hear people say, nah, come to Atlanta. And I feel like, why we gotta come to Atlanta? Why don't y'all come to the country then? If you feel entitled that every South Georgia, Middle Georgia team gotta come to Atlanta and play ball, why don't you come down and play ball down here? Look what's going on in Middle Georgia. Bring the Atlanta teams to Middle Georgia. I mean, we ain't never had a problem coming down to Atlanta playing in the summer, in the spring. Anybody, we be wanting to smoke too, win or lose. It's gonna help us get better. Win or lose. We'll take that. Let's go to Augusta. Bring the Atlanta teams to Augusta. Everybody always say, let's go to the city. Let's go to the city. Let's come to the country too.
Before I start showing mine, go ahead and throw up Dr. Love's statement again. Hey, now real talk, Dr. Love. When I was coming through, there wasn't a lot of AAU teams. It was either you made one or two of the teams or you got cut, and that was it. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, nationals used to be the big thing back in the day. But, with circuits and independent circuits, I think at some point it needs to get to the winner of these circuits or the top 4 or 5 teams from each circuit and independent need to play a nationals. I think that would be the best move for that. Is that going to happen? I can't say. I know independents will be all for that, but for your shoe teams, we all know that's going to be bad for business if one of them gets scraped in one of these, all or nothing type tournaments. But I'm with you 100%. And the one thing about COVID that was somewhat good, all these teams had to play, like a lot of these shoe teams that weren't in business, a lot of these kids had to find teams to play. So I thought this past summer, the teams that did play, there was some really good competition out there this past summer. But I'm with you on that, Dr. Love. I mean, there should be a situation where everybody plays their Peach Jam, everybody plays Three Stripes, everybody plays Under Armour, everybody plays their independent circuits and get together, like you said, in Orlando, Atlanta, whoever got one of the big facilities like Lake Point. And let's see, like you said, let's see who wants to smoke. You know what I mean? You was gonna say something, Drew, before I said put my people out?
Yeah, that's it right there. That's it for us. It's on you now.
Okay. So basically, man, for me, my first person, y'all know her brother really well, but I think she deserves her shine too. It's De'Erica Harris out of Westwood High School, Camellia. Man, listen, people sleeping on De'Erica for real. They sleeping on her.
Shooter.
She can play. She can definitely play. Hey, like I said, she can splash that thing.
She's actually she's won the state 3 years in a row too.
Oh, really? Now that I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
They headed to that. They looking to win their 4th state championship.
And man, for her to be under the radar, man. I mean, I know she's in a rural area, but man, number one is she got 3 state championships. They should be seeing her at states. You know what I mean? They should at least see her at states. But I had to put her on. I was like, I could tell there's probably plenty of competition in the driveway between her and her brother. Definitely plenty of competition. Hey, but definitely shout out to De'Erica. She can go. She can definitely go. This next one is another girl. And, like I said, I wanted to start showing, some of the girls some more love. I got some feature for the boys as well. But yes. And yeah, she can splash that thing, Dr. Love. Definitely. That's why I had to go ahead and show her love. But this next one, the cat's kind of already out of the bag. She's from Augusta, Juke. She's from T.W. Josie. Kishona Brown, and she has blown up. You know, before it was kind of like you can tell it was coming, but it's here now. And, you know, I just wanted to show her love because, like I said, when I started rocking with her and TW Josie, like when I first saw her, I was like, yo, I need to put her out there. Man, within the next 2 weeks, it was game over because the secret was out, you know, the cat was out the bag by that time. But expect for this one right here, you're going to see this one on TV, bro. Trust me. Go ahead and roll that tape.
I already know.
Yeah, she's a beast.
Josie keep some girls too.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get another one soon, man. She's tough, man. She's tough.
Oh.
Mm.
Wow.
Oh, hand down, man down. I'll holler at you.
I'm telling you, Josie keep a girl, like 2 or 3 girls every year, man. I don't know where they be finding them at, but they keep them. Oh, look at them.
Now I'm telling you, man. Listen, when I saw her, I
How
was
big is
like, she is 5'10", and she plays the 1 and the 2, basically. And, you know, of course, because of her team, you know, she got to play other positions. But when she get to college, she going to be a 2. And that shot pure, boy. That shot is pure. You can tell whoever trained her does an excellent job. You can tell by the way she moved.
Yeah, she's tough.
Yeah, she's tough, man. Like when I saw her, and you know, just to let y'all know, I mean, she's still open right now, but the D1s is looking now. And I knew it was just a matter of time. When they saw her, I was like, oh yeah, they gonna get her.
What school she has on her right now?
Let's see. I know George Washington offered her. A couple of HBCUs offered her, but like I said, before it's over and done, bruh, she gonna have at least 10 to 15 if she doesn't already. Because I mean, they've been on her hard like the past 2, 3 months. All you see on her page now is blasting, oh, cat's out the bag now. Cat's definitely out the bag, man. But my next one, hey, shout out to Warner Robins again. Shout out to Warner Robins. Hey, and this one is my sleeper because I think schools are starting, you know, I got a call about him after the Warner Robins game. Rashawn Tomlin, man, from Warner Robins High, man. 6'5" forward. His stock is going to definitely rise, man. I like this kid, man. Definitely like this kid.
Been on that dog for like 2 years. He used to come to the open runs.
Hey. Oh.
Yes, sir. That man got all the energy in the world. They got 2 of those. Him and Greg, bro. It's 2 of those.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But here's the thing, Juke. He makes my job very easy. He's a 3.8 GPA. So he
I know
makes
a
my
school
job.
that's on him very, very hard right now.
Oh,
so I'm not gonna say too much, but they're on this kid very, very heavy right now.
Juke, I just got a call about him, and more than likely he's going to get a lot more calls as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, you know, again, audience, the cat is out the bag on this one. After we saw him at Warner Robins, I was like,
he's been playing like that for. He's been contributing for Warner Robins since he was a freshman, I think.
Yeah,
and he plays with a big time motor too, just like Greg.
Man,
you know,
I'm
both of them,
you,
it's like both of them cut from the same cloth or something.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if coaches don't get in on this kid, they missing out. They missing out. I mean, and really the ones that have been hollering at him, I'm like, boy, if y'all close the deal, y'all getting the steal. Because
that's what I'm saying, and it's a school that's trying to close the deal now, so I don't know. I have to really just see how this plays out. Cause
Juke, you need to plural that. It's more than one that is trying to close the deal.
Yeah, it is. It is too. You're right. It's more than one.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard,
now it is.
bro.
Yeah, and to be honest, I can see over the next couple weeks, probably his stock is probably going to rise big time.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Hills is rising, and Greg Jones is catching up and rising just as much because Greg is playing superb right now. The last 2-3 games, it's a different kind of breed. Them boys, and what people don't understand though, they're coming from a great coaching tree, not only from AAU but from
high school as
school
well.
too.
Yeah,
so
high school as well, definitely. And
they're
like
well coached kids.
After seeing Kawasi's event, Juke, hey, I left there like, oh yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? There was more than a couple of kids, and we've been talking about that, Juke. You know what I'm saying?
This is every year. They're building something special out there. So like, and they want the smoke. Like those kids be wanting to smoke with anybody. So I don't want to hear anybody say, "Oh, let's go, come here, come to Middle Georgia, let's go there." Like, come on, bring the smoke. If they want it, we know it. The next event Kawasi has, we'll really figure out who want the smoke, who want to come in and play in Middle Georgia.
That's true. And you know what? I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that, man. After seeing the type of talent that Middle Georgia has, I could see Atlanta teams like, all right, let me go down there. I mean, Heritage went down there, shout out to Heritage, but really some more of the power Atlanta teams need to go down there and show some love. Would you say, Duke? We lost him. But that's all I had in regards. Oh, you still there, Drew?
I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you. All right, I see you now. Yeah, your stuff moving now.
Yeah, I am. But you can hear me, Mr. Jones?
I can hear you. Yep, I can hear you. And what were you saying now? We lost him again. So what we're going to do, we basically going to wrap this show up. So one of the things I wanted to talk about real quick before we wrap the show up is some of the nice holiday tournaments we got coming up. Some of the showcases, definitely check out the Lemon Street Classic up in Marietta High. That's going to be December 19th, 21st, and 22nd. I will probably be down in Florida to check out the IMG Classic. That's one of the post-grad ones. I know DME post-grad is having one this weekend. Not sure if I'm going to make that one. But, fingers crossed with COVID and everything. Hopefully COVID doesn't knock out some of these tournaments because there's some great tournaments that are on the horizon. As always, me and Juke is trying to put some more of these kids out here, get them noticed because, there's some underrated gems, there's some hidden gems, there's some folks that can flat out play. And so, as always, I definitely want to thank you guys for coming out. Definitely appreciative of Coach Anderson and Justin Briggs for coming to, just shed some light on the whole recruiting process. And we're going to wrap this up. Next week, we got a nice little show coming up. So for next week, we have Dr. Ramon Hart coming from Heart of the Game Consulting. And we have Coach David Sloan from a high academic, Carnegie Mellon University. That's another one. If you don't have a 3.6 or higher, don't apply. It's just not going to happen. But next week is more about the educational side because Dr. Hart's going to be talking about, situations where people have never heard of, and he educated me as well that, make sure your high school is certified. So when even all your classes are taken, there's situations where people get to college and they're ineligible because the school wasn't certified. Well, how do you know that? He's going to tell you about that. So tune in to the show next week. As always, man, I appreciate y'all, man. It's One Georgia, one love. We out.